Welcome to part 6 of my Vietnam travel vlog series. My girlfriend Thuong and I headed from Vung Tau to Saigon in southern Vietnam by boat to celebrate the New Year with one of our Vietnamese friends who lives nearby me in Japan. We had a fun time in Saigon, but we were looking to escape from the busy city to our next stop, which was Hue. Hue is the feudal capital of Vietnam, more centrally located, and is often referred to as the Kyoto of Vietnam. There's an airport in Hue, but it's much cheaper to fly into the nearby metropolis of Da Nang and take a bus over, which is what we did. Upon arrival, I instantly felt that there was something special about this city. The atmosphere felt completely different compared to the other Vietnamese cities we had visited up until this point. Rather than me talk about it, I'll just show you some of the shots from our first night where we walked along the main river, which divides the city. こっち見て。おー。おー。怖い。怖い。綺麗。俺たちロマンチックところにいる。感じれる。お、魚。One of the first cool things I noticed in Hue was this more traditional style tourist bicycle, which you could sit on and get a tour ride around the city. And there was a bunch of these bicycles just riding around doing tours of the city. Unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to ride them. But another one of the things on our to-do list was to go for a boat ride along the river. And while we were walking along the river, we were approached by someone who was selling tickets for a night cruise, which included some live musical performances, so we decided to go check that out. What the heck? Overall, the night cruise was a very enjoyable experience. We also got to light some of the water lanterns and put them out into the water. For you environmentalists out there, don't worry, they collected the paper afterwards, so there was no leftover waste from that. That's it for our first night in Hue, so let's head over to day 2 now. For our second day, we decided to rent a scooter to help us get around the city more easily, and our first stop was to get some breakfast. While I love eating the local foods while I travel, I was in the mood for some Western food, so we decided to check out a local hotspot for Western travelers, Nook Cafe. Seeing the bike as part of the logo on the outside design made me really happy, and the food was also really good. It was a bit pricier than eating the more local foods, but it was definitely worth the price in my opinion, with the excellent quality and overall cool vibe of the place. After our breakfast, we were off to our first main stop of the day, the Thien Mu Pagoda, which was located right off of the north side of the river, a bit west of the city. After exploring the area for a bit, we decided to continue our drive a bit more west just to see some of the more remote areas and I also wanted to see if there was a nice view of the nearby mountains.
We're on our second day here in Hue, Vietnam, and unfortunately been scheduled to have a bit of rain while we're here. Luckily we're on a break of the rain right now, but still a bit cloudy and looks like it'll rain any second. Rented a bike for the day, as you can see. A bit more expensive here, about $10 a day, but still really cheap. Only $5 in the other parts of Vietnam where we were. We had an option for a $5 one, but it was looking a little rough shape, so we ended up going for the $10 one instead. We stopped by a temple this morning and yeah, decided to go. We've got another big temple, or the old like sort of castle palace kind of area where the old king used to live, and we're gonna check that out later. But for now, while the weather's nice, we decided to go and push as far as we can go. Found this lake on the map and decided just to go on some random roads. So we rode through some really small roads. It's all really wet right now, but not that bad. So beautiful sight here. No matter really what country I'm in, I just love being in the countryside in Japan, and when I was in Taiwan, or even when I go visit any other country, I always try and ride my bicycle into the countryside. Unfortunately it's raining right now, so we originally planned to rent bikes and ride around, but we decided when it's rainy we'll ride the scooter instead, just since it's a bit more reasonable. After Hue, we're gonna take a bus back to Da Nang, and we're scheduled to have some sunny weather then, so hopefully we'll be able to rent some bikes and ride around there and do some more cycling vlogs. But for now, it's scooter vlogs. So I found something pretty interesting. As you can see, there's like kind of lake or dam kind of thing here, and it filters over to here and creates this mini artificial river, which is running through the entire rice field area here and all the farms. And I guess they use this to distribute just water equal to each area, so they can control the amount of water that goes everywhere. Pretty cool. All right, continuing on. So we just finished lunch and finishing the scooter drive, and next stop is the old, I guess, king's sort of palace or castle kind of area. Actually, we arrived at the exit and had to walk back around to the entrance because we paid for parking over there. Parking's only about 50 cents, so not bad. And we made our way back to the entrance now, so we're gonna walk in and check it out. Just bought our tickets and found out the official English name. So it's the Royal Palace. Tickets are about $7.50. One of the more expensive things that we've bought here for admission prices. Way more expensive than anything else, so expectations are high. So not able to take any video or pictures of inside the palace areas, but can still show you the outside. Unfortunately, we've only got about 30 minutes before this area closes, and it's pretty big, so I'm gonna try and see as much as we can before we head out. Pretty massive inside here. Lots of different areas you can go and explore, and I've been asking Thuong lots of questions about Vietnamese history, lots of stuff I didn't know, lots of stuff she doesn't know, so we're both needing to research and learn a bit more. about different wars with China, and I'm curious about the history span of this palace area, and just a lot of different things. So hopefully I can learn a bit more about that. And if anyone knows who's watching this, feel free to share any interesting information in the comments. Would love to hear more about it, or if you have any recommendations of good documentaries or even books, really. I'd be interested in reading or learning more about it, and hopefully in the future in any other videos about Vietnam I'll have more interesting information for you guys. We're gonna keep exploring. We ran out of time for our palace tour, had to leave. Gonna go grab the bike and go hunt for some good food souvenirs to bring back to some of our friends back in Japan. Finished up at the souvenir store, and as you can see, got a bunch of stuff. So if you're one of the lucky people who lives by me in Japan, you'll be getting one of these presents. Alright, so mission accomplished, we got our souvenirs. Next we're gonna go out and get some dinner. Unfortunately I didn't film any shots from our dinner, but after dinner we went for a walk and stumbled across this nice cafe with some live jazz, and we decided to finish off our night here. Sadly, this is the end of our brief time in Hue, and while I do think that 2 days is enough to get most of the main sites in, I would have liked to have stayed an extra day and relax and explore a bit more. Hue left a really positive impression on me, and you can really feel that there's something special about the city while you're there. Anyway, that's it for today's vlog. If you're not subscribed yet, please click the subscribe buttons to follow along with more of our adventures around Vietnam and Japan. In the next video, we'll be heading to Da Nang, which just so happens to be my favorite place in Vietnam, so make sure to watch the next video so you can see why for yourself. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time here on Two Wheel Cruise.